Hello everyone. Greetings to all from Dr. Anjali Taneja, Principal Consultant, Cloud9 Hospital, Patparganj. So, menstrual periods are a normal, healthy part of life and menstrual hygiene supplies are a basic necessity. Starting at the age of maybe 10 to 12 years and finishing periods around 50 to 52 years, roughly, a woman has 450 periods in lifetime. So it is always a good idea to think about the products to manage your periods. Historically, females have been using and managing their periods with pads. Then came the pads initially used with only clothes, probably our grandmothers used so. And then came the pads which are available in market now, and intervening they were like cloth pads in which a piece of cloth was filled with kind of cotton. And now the fancy sanitary pads have come. So but our pads are the only products that can be used, and are there any products available which may be better also? So as we all know, it is one of the commonest period product and is familiar to almost all women, the pads. They're worn inside your undergarments and they act by absorbing the blood flow. After absorbing the blood, it is converted to a jelly-like substance to prevent it coming back. They come in different sizes, styles and thickness. Some may have wings which folds over the edges of your undergarments and to prevent leaks. So choose your pad based on body size, amount of blood flow and comfort. Though pads are easy to use, they change every 4 to 8 hours or whenever you feel full or wet. It can get uncomfortable if used for long. It can have rashes, it can give you bad smell, and it can be simply uncomfortable to have that wet feeling. Also, when the blood absorbed on the pad when exposed to air can have bacterial growth and give rise to foul smell. Then there are panty liners available, which are like miniature pads which can be used when you think you are about to start your period or you may be finishing them with little blood flow. So are you happy using pads, or do you think there can be an alternative which can be better also? So as we know, use of pads is associated with bad odor, rashes, uncomfortable feel of wetness. Also, while pads are manufactured, bleach is used on the pulp and paper products that go into these pads and tampons. So during this manufacturing process, there are some contaminants which are produced which may even can cause cancer. So we cannot say that pads are very health friendly. Plus, they are not wallet friendly also. It's a recurring cost, and because they are disposable, they are not exactly environmental friendly also. Given point in at any given point globally, almost 800 million women are having periods every day, and each woman can use almost 10 to 12,000 pads in her lifetime. And all these pads, so 10 to 12,000 pads per woman, are disposed. Now these disposed pads, they can contain up to 90% plastic which ends up in landfills or is burnt in incinerator. When in landfill, these disposable pads take 500 to 800 years to break down, and the plastic may actually never truly biodegrade. So when different sanitary products were compared, pads had the highest environmental impact because of fossil fuel depletion when manufacturing process and the carbon footprints it had when disposing it. The packaging of these disposable products in itself is a major source of waste because the major packaging is again plastic. So you can imagine the global impact of pads, starting from the use of raw products to plastic packaging and final. So as we discussed, pads may not be very health friendly. They can cause rashes, they can cause bad odor, they can cause skin problems down below, they can, and then they are disposable, so you have a recurring cost. So and going beyond the personal friend, they are not very environmental friendly also. Good news is that now washable sanitary pads are available, which can be used multiple times, making them more wallet and environmental friendly. However, These reusable pads, they are made of cotton cloth and they have some absorbent layer inside, making it washable. So they can be used multiple times before you finally choose to dispose them off. However, it's a choice. You personally may find it difficult to wash and dry, which may need some privacy. When you're traveling or you're outside or have long work hours and you need to change, you will need to carry the soiled pad back home before it can be washed and reused. Because blood is absorbed in these pads but not converted to any jelly-like material, they may give you a sensation of wetness. So, are pads the only option or we have any other options? Well, having periods should not interfere with your everyday life. Range of products are available to keep you comfortable. Your choice can depend on the activity you are doing, cost of product and convenience of use, and how the product impacts the environment. Now we have period panties also. It is a kind of normal undergarment, normal panty, with a special material sewn into fabric that soaks up the blood. It's washable and can be reused. But again, before it is washed and reused, you may need to have multiple sets, and then you can carry on with period panty also. Now coming to next option, which is tampon. So tampons are made of similar material as pads like cotton and rayon. They also absorb blood, but they do it from inside the vagina. So instead of applying on the vulva, the tampon is actually inserted into the vagina and it absorbs blood. So they are cylindrical in shape and inserted in vagina. How to insert them? You can use the fingers, or the tampons come with applicators also. Applicators can be made up of plastic or cardboard and which help in insertion. So because of the familiarity with pads and the convenience of use, many patients are actually reluctant to try other products. They are reluctant to use tampon. They are reluctant because they feel something is going inside. So let's talk about the insertion. So this is how a tampon will look like. It's a small cylindrical, so it is much smaller in size, easy to carry, is much more discreet. So always wash your hands before inserting a tampon or a menstrual cup. Then you open it. It simply opens like this. Once open, it has a small thread attached to it. So this is how the thread looks like. So this is the part that has to go inside the vagina and the thread will stay outside. Now you have to stand. You can do it in the standing position. In the beginning, when you're starting with the tampons, try standing with one leg up and one leg down. So maybe you can use your own toilet seat to keep one leg up, or instead you can use a squatting position also. So other thing that we have to remember, but many patients that they find difficulty is if this is the vagina and they're standing like this, they insert the tampon like this, so it just goes and hits the wall of the vagina and does not get inserted. And then they feel pain and they're kind of not able to insert the tampon comfortably. So what we have to remember is that if this is the back, the vagina is not exactly in alignment with the back, rather it is a tilted organ. It is something like this. So when you are inserting the tampon, insert it not like this, but at a 45-degree angle, at an angle to the back, your own back. Make a 45-degree angle and then insert the tampon. So it will go easily in. Just keep it push it inside so that it feels comfortable. Now tampons are also disposable and they also need to be changed. So this is what the string is meant for. Once the tampon is inside, the string stays outside. It can be tucked in your undergarments or it can be tucked just behind the labia. It doesn't feel much. So when needed to take out, you simply pull it and it comes out with the string. So this is how a tampon is used. Now tampon should be comfortable to wear. Once inserted correctly, you should not actually even feel the tampon. After removal, The tampon is again not completely biodegradable, so but it is disposable. So you have to wrap it in a toilet paper and throw it in trash. In the beginning, it's good idea to use them with days of heavy flow, because once it is wet, it slips easily. So removal is easier on days of heavy flow. Tampons again, they come in different sizes and absorbencies and are easy to carry. Once properly inserted, they are comfortable to use. However, like pads, they also need to be changed every 4 to 6 hours. Do not leave them overnight. Left long, it can cause a serious bacterial infection called as TSS, which is caused by a bacteria. Always while inserting or removing, wash your hands. If by mistake the tampon falls on your the floor, do not use it. Use open a new one. So, like as we just demonstrated, they are small, so they are easy to carry, much more discreet than the pads. They are comfortable. They are not visible through your panty lines. Do not cause any allergy or smell or rashes. They are not visible, and you can carry on with the sports like swimming with them. Now, tampons, they also contain plastic core or may come with plastic applicator. So, tampons are also a recurring cost. They are disposable, and though better than pads, they are not completely biodegradable. Another query that comes often is that can young girls use tampon? Yes, they may if they want to, but it may stretch or tear the hymen, so you have to be comfortable. Penetrative sex is best avoided with tampon in place. Vagina, from where the period blood comes out and from where you pee or pass motion, are anatomically separate. So you can safely use restroom with tampons in. There is no need to remove the tampon when you want to use the restroom. However, do change it, as we said, within 4 to 6 hours. And also, do not use 2 to 3 tampons together. Many a times people forget when they are inserted the tampon, so it is a good idea to use one tampon at a time and let the string outside so that you remember. So tampons definitely have some advantage over pads, though they again are a recurring cost, and they though better than pads, but they are not completely biodegradable. So it's a personal choice, of course, but somehow tampons can be better than pads, and then they do not cause any rash or allergy or smell. So another alternative is menstrual cups. So this is how a menstrual cup looks like. Many of you may have been trying to shift to it because we often have queries but reluctant. So again, this is how it looks like. It is made up of flexible material like medical grade silicone or latex. It comes in various colors. Well, because it's a medical grade silicone, latex and colors, so they are safe to use. They do not contain any chemicals or bleaches like pads had or tampons had. So why should you consider them? Because once you have invested on a cup which costs something like 500 to 800, 900 rupees depending on the company you may be considering, it's not a recurring cost. So if a cup is maintained nicely, one cup can actually last for almost 10 years. So it is not a recurring cost. So no rash, no foul smell, health friendly, no bleaches used, budget friendly. It's a better lifestyle choice because you're protecting the environment also. Imagine you were disposing 10,000 to 12,000 pads in the lifetime, and whereas if you shift to menstrual cup and a cup lasts 10 years, so the amount of the trash is reduced greatly. Also, it allows sports like swimming and is friendly for your skin. Similar to tampon, it is also inserted inside the vagina to collect the menstrual blood flow. So now how to insert it? Again, because you're putting something inside your body, always wash your hands first, and then you, similar to tampons, stand with maybe squatting position or one leg up and one leg down, as one leg can be kept on the toilet seat and the other on the floor. So now to insert it, you have to fold this. So it can be folded in 3 ways. You can simply pinch the upper lip like this, is it visible? Yeah. Pinch the upper lip and it goes like this, and then you can insert it inside the vagina. Once inside, it opens on its own, or you can simply fold it like this. This is called C technique. It's just folded into like just wrap it, and then again once inside it just opens. So one method, pinch the upper rim. Second method, just fold it. Third is make a 7. So at the rim, you take hold of one rim, one edge of the rim, and just fold it on the other part like a 7. This is the 7, and again it goes in and it opens on its own. Yeah. So this is the way this cup can be folded. So this cup had this upper rim. It has a body, the main cup, and a stem. Now there are markings on this cup. They may not be visible in this video, I'm not very sure, but these markings tell how much blood has collected. So people who feel they are bleeding heavy or they are bleeding extra can actually measure the amount of blood that they bleed. So which can be of assistance in knowing whether you bleed too heavy, and your management decisions can actually be taken on that. So wash your hands, take position as comfortable to you, and then pinch it and then insert it. It opens on its own. Now it should not go too high, it should not be too low also. If it is too low, the stem will hurt you, you will feel the stem and you will not be comfortable. If it's too high, it may not be able to collect the blood properly, and you may find removal difficult. So it comes like with the 1 or 2 insertions, you will know how much is good. So once inserted, it just has to be just put it inside that. So now menstrual cup comes in 3 sizes. One is small, medium and large. So the small size is for females who are sexually active but not delivered vaginally. Sorry, small size is to be used by females who are not sexually active, and for them. The medium size is for females who are sexually active but they have not had a vaginal delivery, and the large size is for females who have had vaginal delivery prior. So of course it's a hit and trial method, so you may need to try 1 or 2 cups before you decide which size is okay for you. So this needs to be removed and washed every 8 to 12 hours. In the beginning, you may choose to empty the cup every 6 hours, and then you will come to know that how much time does it take to get full on various period days. But it can be safely left for 12 hours also. Now to remove, how to remove? It basically works by creating a vacuum. So inside the vagina, it is held tight by vacuum. So put your finger inside, identify the stem, and once you have identified the stem of the menstrual cup, just go along the edge and pinch the rim. Basically you try to break the vacuum, and once the vacuum is broken, just take it out. Initial 1 or 2 times you may notice some spill of blood, but that is nothing to worry about. With practice that will be non-messy and it will be okay. So between 2 usages, just wash it with plain water and a mild detergent and it's good to go again. But between 2 periods, sterilize it and store it in a cloth bag after drying, like this kind of cloth bag. In fact, the cups generally come with their own cloth bag. So this is the cup and this is the bag. So how to sterilize it? It can be sterilized by inserting in boiling water for 7 to 8 minutes. As we said, they can be used up till a decade, making them both wallet and environmental friendly. Some women worry that will the tampon and cup get lost inside their body? Well, that's not true. The vagina is a closed space. So like vagina, it cannot go anywhere up, right? It's a closed space, so it cannot enter your tummy. Through the vagina, small opening of cervix is there from which blood is coming out. Through that opening, it is virtually impossible for the tampon or the menstrual cup to enter your tummy. So no, that will not happen. Another concern is that can I go to restroom or can I pee with tampons or menstrual cup in place? Yes, absolutely. There is you don't need to remove tampon or menstrual cup while using washroom. This is availability. Well, all these products are easily available online and offline. You can check the major online platforms and they'll be available. Next is, can I swim? Because with pads you may not feel like swimming and it may not be hygienic for other people around. So with tampons and cups, they are useful for girls who go for sports like swimming and gymnastics. So just to give a comparison again, pads we are all familiar with. They are historically being used for a long time, but they may come with their own set of problems like disposable, recurrent cost, not environmental friendly, may cause rash, odor. But still, you may still feel like using them because you feel comfortable in them and they are convenient to use. Next is the tampons. Tampons again made of almost similar material like sanitary pads. So though they are also a recurring cost, better than pads, but not still completely environmental friendly. But they are much more discreet, easy to carry. They are like very small in size, and once you get used to them, so because they stay in vagina, they absorb blood. So blood is not coming in contact with the air outside, so they are not associated with rashes or any foul smell. So that way they may score a brownie points over the pads. Next is the menstrual cup. Menstrual cup is recurrent use, so budget friendly, environmental friendly. It collects blood, stays inside the vagina, so you can actually measure how much you are bleeding, and then it is much more health friendly because again the blood is not coming in contact with air, so there is no problem any rashes or smell. For people who have long working hours, menstrual cup may be better because it can actually stay in and collect blood for up to 12 hours also. Now there is a product called as menstrual disc also. Menstrual disc, the difference between menstrual disc and stem and cup is basically the cup looks like a cup and the disc is like flat hollow, which goes deep inside the vagina and it also collects blood. However, the disc does not have any stem, so you may find some difficulty removing it. And then we have period panties, which are like disposable also, which are recurrent use also, and then cloth pads also. We have already discussed about them. So now we can take any queries you may have. Any questions? So we have few questions. What is the most commonly used period product? So as we just said, because of maybe familiarity and historically the pads have been used, so yes, pads are still the most frequently used period product. What are the different types of products that we have already discussed? We have pads. In pads also we have disposable, we have cloth pads, we have panty liners, we have period panties now, and then we have tampons, menstrual cup, menstrual disc. Are there any advantages of using menstrual products? Yes, it's a basic necessity. It helps you maintain menstrual hygiene. Are menstrual products environmental friendly? I think we have already discussed that in detail, Priya. Kritika, what is the best product for first period? Okay, very nice question. See, as a mother, majority of the mothers are comfortable using pads because we have again said historically they are the product they have been used, and so maybe the familiarity, the ease, and the thought block that hymen may break if you give anything which is to be inserted inside the vagina. So pads are still being commonly used for the first period. Also, the age at which first menarche is happening, the first period is coming to girls, is decreasing. So they may not be emotionally mature enough to put something inside the vagina. However, your virginity has nothing to do with the hymen. So if you feel you're emotionally mature to insert and take out and take care of it, not forget about it, then yes, tampons and menstrual cup can also be used for girls. So again, pad may be the first choice of many households, but then again it's a personal choice. Even the girls can use cups and tampons. How often should we change menstrual products? Well, tampons have to be changed within 4 to 6 hours. The same thing applies for pads. Menstrual cups can be used for much longer, like 8 to 12 hours. How to choose the right period product? Well, again, it's a personal choice depending on your familiarity with the product, the convenience of use, your work hours, your traveling time, the way you think about environment and earth as a whole, and then your budget friendly options. How are cups different from tampons? Okay, so I think that we have already covered. Tampons and cups both are inserted into the vagina, whereas tampon is made up of cotton or rayon, and it practically works by absorbing the blood, and then you have to remove it and throw it and reuse a new one. Menstrual cup does not absorb blood. It's just a cup. So blood is collected inside the cup, and once full you just throw it into the flush and wash the cup with mild detergent and water and reuse it. How to prevent rashes or itchiness during menstruation? So change your pad frequently, use ones with a cotton topping, and try shifting to tampons or cups. How many pads per day is normal? See, there is nothing called as how many pads per day is normal, because somebody may be changing pads frequently for hygienic reasons, somebody may be bleeding heavy. So as long as you're not bleeding heavy, your hemoglobin is not coming down, and the amount of bleeding that you are having has been like this for you always, there is no sudden change in the amount of bleeding, the amount of pads is okay. But if the same amount of bleeding is causing you anemia, it's giving you weakness, then it may not be okay. Are colored cups safe? Yes, they are safe. They are all medical grade materials. How do you know when a tampon is full? Okay, so generally it has to be changed within 4 to 6 hours. Initial few months, 1 or 2 months, you may actually use pad with a tampon. So you will know that okay, within 6 hours if I changed, I was comfortable. Or you may use a higher absorbency tampon within your flow of heavy day and then shift to lighter ones. What should I choose to use overnight, tampon or sanitary pad? Well, tampons cannot be left overnight. So for overnight, you have to use a pad or a panty, the cloth panties with pad which are coming now, or a cup. So I think this was it. Any other queries? So now over to you. When having your periods, make your own choice. Thank you.